Ms Finlay.
Here.
Thank you, Speaker. It's my absolute pleasure to rise this morning and speak on the salmon industry in Tasmania. It's my displeasure that the Greens would bring an item titled on a very serious matter before Tasmania and then in the process seek to undermine the incredible people in Tasmania that work in the salmon industry. I love Tasmania and I love the things that we're able to achieve here, and I love nothing more than being an advocate and a person that supports great innovation and great people in Tasmania, particularly when it is something that happens in our state and is recognised not only just nationally but internationally. I think at moments like this in this place we need to pause and remember the full context and understanding of the things that we speak about, and the best way to do that is to build relationships and gain real information about those that we speak of. And the salmon industry in Tasmania, with their decades of advancement in this state from an idea in a small way that has grown over time, has created some of the greatest innovations undertaken and used across the world that have been developed right here. Tasmania should be proud of this industry. Unfortunate as it is and as devastating it is for all people that work in the industry, the circumstances we find ourselves in for this summer, an extraordinary event, the only event of this scale that has occurred in the history, the 35-year plus history of the salmon industry, should always be considered in context. The Greens rise and others rise in this chamber and talk about the confusion in the community about the current status of this industry, and I would say that it's the misinformation shared by the Greens and by others in this place and by people in the community intentionally seeking to undermine the credible reputations of people that work in this industry is what leads to community confusion. You have had two ministers of this place, senior ministers in this government, stand up and say on the record for the information that they receive directly from their departments, and an absent minister, and I'm not saying that negatively, but the minister as well, Minister Yench in this place, say categorically that Tasmanian salmon on the shelves, in supermarkets and in stores across this state and across this country is safe to eat. It is absolutely determined that it is safe to eat. It is a prime, it is a quality product of quality protein, and as the Minister himself said, produced in the lowest possible carbon way. It is one of the highest quality proteins. It is delicious and safe to eat, and it is produced in a way that doesn't compare to other proteins, yet we have people intentionally seeking to undermine that. So there needs to be certainty in our community, and the way that happens is by people actually are honest and tell the truth about the information that they represent in the public conversation. One of the ways that you do that, and I would ask the Leader of the Greens as an example, is to actually go out for yourselves and meet with and be on site at places where salmon is produced. Has the Leader of the Greens recently taken up an invitation from anyone in the industry to go out and be on site actual salmon pens, at actual salmon pens or at any other facilities in Tasmania, and met with the workers and spoken to the workers, spoken with industry and seen how it actually happens? No. They would prefer to spread misinformation about the potential of 100% producing salmon on land. They would seek to undermine someone talked about stocking densities, the densities of the salmon. If the Leader of the Greens went out and visited a pen in Storm Bay or anywhere else in Tasmania, you actually stand on the pen and look in the water, you can hardly see the fish. They imply to the people of Tasmania that there are chocked up pens full of fish struggling for position within these pens. The reality is there's between 2 and 3% stocking density in our pens in Tasmania, and those fish are hardly seen there. But the pictures created, the imagery created by the Greens and the others is that it is chocked up with foul materials and so many fish that no one can move. That is just not the case. And if people like the Leader of the Greens, Senator Lambie and others actually took the time and accepted the invitations for people to go out and see the incredible operations of these people, meet with the amazing people that have done this work and have created some of the best innovations used across the world, then they would actually have to tell the truth because they will have seen it for themselves. But they're not willing, they're not able, they will not do that because they know then that they can't continue the misinformation that they continue to spread. bread. The Tasmanian salmon industry is loved by many in Tasmania. The salmon on the shelves is safe, it is a quality product, and Tasmanian Labor stand firmly with the salmon industry.
The debate has expired. The question for the House is the motion be noted. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Contrary, no.